thought the hurricane season was over.
I thought hurricane season was over.
Oh, I'm sorry about things just got out of hand.
Yeah, that's the way it was with my first husband.
I'm Mr. Fox. This is the I Refuse podcast. And I got something to say. Is it crack? Is it lead? Is it whippets? All right, you white motherfuckers, all eyes on me. This is the I Refuse podcast. This is Mr. Fox of the I Refuse podcast, back for another session with you failed assignments, get graded paperwork, back face down motherfuckers. First and foremost, I'm Mr. Fox. This is the I Refuse podcast, and I got something to say. Is it crack? Is it lead? Is it whippets? This is Mr. Fox of the I Refuse podcast, back for another session with you failed assignments, get graded paperwork, back face down motherfuckers. First and foremost, my heart goes out to the folks that fuck it. You know what? Those of you that have gotten out of Florida, kudos. If it was up to me, I would have been on the NASA shuttle that's still in space right now. Now every day I wake up and I look around, I'm more and more jealous of astronauts that get to go into space and leave the planet, because we just refuse to get it, right? Adding a little bit more off a point I made earlier on my previous video in reference to the longshoreman strike. When it comes to Hurricane Milton, when it comes to Hurricane Helene, when it comes to the long history of hurricanes that have hit Florida from both sides, as long as I've been alive, how long have we been talking to y'all about climate change? How long was it that old boy Al Gore went on a national television show, talk show, gave this great big presentation on like floor to ceiling screens about global warming? How long ago was that? I know it was while Oprah was still doing her talk show, because he did it on Oprah's talk show. And Oprah's been off the air, I want to say at least 10 years. So probably 10 or 15 years before that. Yeah, here we are. Those of us that are not in Hurricane Alley or Tornado Alley, those of us that have been getting stories just on the monthly, to the point that there's talk. We know about the legend of Florida Man. We know about people eating bath salts. We know about Stand Your Ground. We know about George Zimmerman. We know about all kinds of craziness, including like people literally habitating around alligator and crocodile ponds, swamps and marshes, ungated, and nature just doing its part. And yet, y'all still continue to malign and assimilate yourself with folks and parties and constituencies that vote against your interests. Florida, as long as I've been breathing what I think is clean air, has been its own in-ground pool since the early 90s. And even then, I don't think people caught on to why it's possible for the same area to get hit by so many hurricanes, right? As early as the 90s, and I'm basing this off my frame of reference, there has been Hurricane Adam, Hurricane Helene, I think Hurricane Geraldine, like multiple hurricanes. It's only been in the last 10 or 15 years, like it got to a point that we could predict like when the next 6 to 8 hurricanes were going to happen. So here we are in 2024. Florida, with its long history of getting hit by hurricanes, it has gotten to a point now to where they even closed the Waffle Houses. Like, Florida is synonymous for having, for their Waffle Houses, and to a greater extent, like the South in general. So when the Waffle Houses are closing, it's time to get up out of there. Only this time, just like the previous hurricane, this one kind of went across the center or went further north. So it didn't hit all of Florida, or didn't like mess up so much the southern part or the eastern parts of Florida. So people in Miami, people down towards that tip, got rain for the most part. People in Orlando was cool, but people in like Tampa, Tallahassee, more like the Panhandle side, yeah, they got in-ground indoor pools. And it's to the point right now where you have one man TikToking, making TikToks, going live on TikTok,